So we are here with Vijay sir, and it's such a great honor to actually be asking and discussing and sharing the journey of his spirituality and how he has helped transform the journey in life of not only me, but many others like me. So let's talk about his journey and how did he find enlightenment, and what was that one reason that took you towards this journey of spirituality?
There was that one reason, actually. I think for anybody who has a transformation, there is always that one hammer that, you get hit on the head with.
Yeah. What was your hammer? I
had a beautiful hammer, actually. We all know about 2008.
Yes. The recession, of course.
The recession, when all the banks around the world collapsed.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, I had just started making money around 2000. And in those 8 years, I made more money than I could even dream of. I never dreamt, I could never dream, coming from my background, that so much money existed.
Yeah.
Now, with all that money came all the troubles of money. So, I started smoking. I started drinking a lot. I would play poker 5 days a week. We had a poker room in my house, by the way. We had a full poker room in my new house. And that was the kind of decadent lifestyle I was leading. I started putting on weight. I had dark circles there. And we had one driver, by the way, it's very funny. We had one driver who used to come in the evening. So 2 used to come in the day normal. 1 used to come at 7 in the evening and used to leave at 6 in the morning. Because almost every night we used to go out. Either partying or play or poker or something like that. Okay. So there was no sense. It was just a mad...
Directionless.
It was just directionless. It was insane. It was decadent. And then 2008 happened. And which is why I tell people it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So now when you ask me, what is that one thing that changed my life?
Yeah.
What got me into Kundalini Yoga was 2008. Because when I lost 80% of all the money I had made my whole life, I didn't get depressed. That was a good thing. I didn't get sad because when I was making it, I was not freaking out. When I lost it, I was not freaking out. I kept that, I'd always like to keep that, equilibrium. So I had that, I maintained that. But I started asking questions. I said, no matter how much money you make, it can go away like that. So what is the use of it? And what it is really that you can earn or have or own that is yours, that nobody can take away from you.
Right.
And the answer was wisdom.
Absolutely.
Bliss, and a space of enlightenment where you are aware. Enlightenment is nothing but awareness. It's like a switch which was off and it becomes on. And that's enlightenment. So when I got that answer clearly, because like I said, money went like this in 1 minute. And when I said, what can I have that nobody can take away from me? It was my inner joy. Because my inner joy is with me. It's a part of me. Nobody can take that away from me. So once I knew that answer, I started searching. I started going to yoga festivals. I started going for retreats. I started going to meet people. I would talk. I would do, I did all kinds of things. And then one of those was a yoga festival where there was Kundalini yoga, people, And at that time I was learning Iyengar. And I was only interested in Iyengar yoga. And I saw this gang of 300 people, all wearing white clothes, shining skin like yours, glowing. And I said, what are these people, How can all be so beautiful?
Yeah, what are they practicing?
After 6 days of looking at them, because it was a 7-day festival, on the 6th day, I went up to one girl and said, excuse me, can I ask you a question if you don't mind? She said, yeah, sure, one. I said, do they audition you before you do Kundalini yoga? She said, she was very confused. She said, what? Why? I said, because all of you are so good looking. I said, do they see your picture and say, oh, you're good looking, yeah, okay, you can come. And then, oh, no, you are ugly, rejected, go, you can't do Kundalini yoga. She started laughing. She said, why didn't you try it? Why didn't you? I said, no, I have my anger. I don't do it. But I couldn't resist. So the next day morning, at 9 o'clock, on the banks of the Ganga, in Rishikesh, I sat down for my first Kundalini yoga class. And the first 5 minutes changed my whole life. Because I just got the feeling that I had found my way back home.
And what was the home, your inner enlightenment?
What I was looking for my entire life, what I was searching for. But I've been a seeker. Even when I was 15 years old, I paid for a Siddha Samadhi Yoga course. I was the youngest person ever in the history of Siddha Samadhi Yoga to pay his own money and enroll for that course. And I did 14 days of that intense spiritual practice. And I did many others like that throughout my life. But it was this, it was that, it was good, it was okay, it was fine, it was great. But Kundalini Yoga just came and it just grabbed hold of me, and I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And when I learned it, when I did the teacher's training course for 26 days, and I came out and literally my face had changed and nobody could even recognize me. Literally my best friend who played poker with me every Saturday, when I was standing next to them, they couldn't recognize me. I realized it was so powerful that I had to spend the rest of my life sharing it with the whole world.
So the story is actually very interesting. So my next question was about to be about why Kundalini Yoga only. Did you take the teacher training for other courses like, nowadays aerial yoga is so much in trend, and, people say you need to do pranayama every day or vinyasa or yin yang or other forms of yoga. So did you take training or try other forms of yoga and then decided that Kundalini is for me?
I did all the forms. Whatever names you took, I did almost all of them. And the thing is that I realized that with those practices, what was happening was that my body was getting more aligned. I was understanding alignment. I was understanding, stretching, opening up the body. All that was happening. But the way Kundalini Yoga just goes straight into your soul, even in one session, I can tell you hundreds of stories of people's experiences, that, like even in my class. I'll give you one story actually. So then this one girl came to me last month, and she called up and she took an appointment. She said, I want to see you. And I didn't remember her. She said, I'd done one class with you. I said, sure, come. So she came and she met me. And then she came and she just said, can I give you a hug? I said, sure. It was fine, we can give me a hug. She said, I just came to thank you. I said, why? What happened? She said, I did your class a year ago. I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't remember. So she said, I did your class 1 year ago. Now she's a supermodel. Like she works for Inega and all these international brands and all. And she said, I was modeling at that time, and I'm still modeling. And my father had passed away. 2 years before I did your class, my father had passed away, and I loved him very much. She said, for 2 years, every night I used to cry. The whole day I used to be sad because I missed him so much. I was very close to my father. And I just missed him terribly. And I every night I used to go to bed, missing him, talking to him in my sleep. But that one class I did with you, that one session, I stopped crying. I just wanted to thank you for it. So this is how powerful Kundalini Yoga is. It can really go into your soul so fast in one session. Some people need 2, some people need 5, some people need 10. It depends, but it's as fast and as direct as anything can be. There's one very famous teacher. He's actually, I think his name is Mike Russell, something like that. And he has a very famous quote on Kundalini Yoga. He calls it the crack cocaine of yoga. He's saying it's a drug. It's like a drug. He's saying once you do it, it's something that you have to do for the rest of your life.
I can actually believe him, Mike Russell, for saying that, because I have myself experienced it with you in the past 2 days, and I did not believe or even know about, I was not aware about this form of yoga. And after my second session, I broke down and I had tears, and I want to do it again and again. I want to go through that procedure and make myself more stronger from inside and get to my soul. And it actually works. It's actually a washing machine. That's true. So talking about your seminars and sessions and retreats that you do throughout the world, like, you go to Mexico, you're going to Prague, you do retreats in India and all over the world. But which country people do you think are more inclined towards Kundalini or more aware of it or more, inclined towards doing it? Is there any particular country that you feel that, okay, people from this country are more aware about Kundalini?
Well, Russia has a big community. In fact, when I go to Russia now, I have sessions for Russian Kundalini Yoga teachers. The teachers come to, even the number of teachers that come, I get surprised. Like 150 teachers, that come for my class. And so it's a huge community, because you imagine if there are so many teachers, how many students there must be.
Of course.
Even like students-wise, when I teach in cities, I teach in Kazan, and I teach in Chelny in Russia. So Russia has a big community. Surprisingly, China now has a Kundalini Yoga community, and it's just growing. It's growing so fast everywhere. Like now, for the first time, after 2 weeks, I'm going to Lithuania. Just before I teach in Prague, I'll be teaching for the first time in Lithuania.
Wow.
And at the end of August, I'm teaching in Istanbul for the first time again.
Wow.
So, and once you teach there again, it's the same thing. It's if once they experience it, it's the same thing. It's a drug. Then they want it again, and they want it again, they want it again. And it's just beautiful.
So if I talk about you as a person, as a personality, you have to travel so much because of your work. Your work takes you to different countries. So do you love traveling as well, or is just a part of the job that you do?
I've always loved traveling. So even before I started teaching Kundalini Yoga, I was always traveling. So people used to ask me, so what do you do? I said, I travel. I said, no. What do you do, like work-wise? I travel. I said, you know what?
How
I
to
was
make
not,
money? What do you do for a living?
Yes, I'm not interested in all that. So I would tell, I'm not interested in all that. Money comes somehow. So the thing is, my first book, which is going to come out, it's called The Spirituality of Money, The Spirituality of Success.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about this in depth in the book, where I'm now at a stage where I'm making money without doing anything. Okay,
That's something I think everybody needs to learn.
It's in the book.
Money without doing
It's going to be in the book. It's going to be in
I'm
the book.
so excited to read that because we try so hard to make money. We have to run here, we have to run there, we have to do work, and we have to finish commitments just to earn money. That's so interesting to do.
It's a concept. There's a Chinese concept called Wu Wei, W-U-W-E-I, Wu Wei. And basically what the philosophy is all about is the art of doing everything without doing anything. So people ask me, they say, you're an art dealer. I'm one of the most successful art dealers in India.
Oh, tell us something about that.
So I advise people on art investments, what art to buy. When it's time for them to sell it, I help them sell it. And it's just an art investment, like how you buy stocks and shares. I advise people how to buy art, to decorate their home.
The artist.
Obviously, it's always going to be M.F. Hussain with the kind of range.
One of his painting inside a beautiful house.
Yeah, so,
Do you have
yeah, of course.
Of course.
So then lots, there's Jyoti Bhatt, there's M.F. Hussain, there's Prabhakar Kolte, there's many great Indian artists we have. So I do art. I'm an actor. I'm currently shooting for a show for Amazon, which I just started shooting for last week, a new show for Amazon. I'm doing another film where I'm playing a main villain. So I do a lot of acting, a lot of art, and then traveling. Like in August itself, I'm teaching in Lithuania, I'm teaching in Helsinki, I'm teaching in Prague, I'm teaching in Istanbul. Only in August. So people ask me, how do you get so much time? I say, I have all the time in the world.
But tell me something, does travel make you a better person? Does it teach you things? I mean, how does travel transform one's life?
I've always said, in my whole life I've said that there are only 3 ways to grow. Very important actually. The one way to grow, spiritually, mentally, intelligence-wise, wisdom-wise, the 3 paths to wisdom I call it basically. One is the company of wiser people. The company of older people, wiser people, smarter people. So my friends have always been 20, 25, 30, 40 years older than me. And they're friends. Okay. When you spend time with such people, you'll learn things. You grow.
Learn with experience.
The second is books. Now we can, now over the years, it's changed from books to books and podcasts.
Yeah, podcast.
You look at a podcast, there's so many, Huberman, there's so many great podcasters who are teaching you things which are really precious, really rare,
True.
So now you can say podcast and book, both. That's the second path. And the third is travel. Every time you go out, you go to a foreign country where you don't know the place, you don't know the road, you don't know the language, you don't know the people, you don't know anybody, you don't know the food, you don't know the culture, and you are losing yourself, but that is the space where you find yourself. You realize who you are.
Actually, travel makes you realize what a tiny space you hold in this entire world. Like otherwise you feel you are the king, this is my surrounding, this is my comfortable space, these are my comfortable people, they'll always be good to me. But when you travel, you realize you hold such a tiny space in such a big world of people.
And you understand it so well. You have 3 passports full?
I have 3 passports full and my 4th is going on. And I don't count countries like you do, but I think I would have completed 30 by now for sure. But I love to travel. I love to explore. I love to see new places. And I like to mingle with the local people wherever I go rather than behaving like a tourist and doing touristy things. I make friends in a country. I try to like know the local stuff and like mingle with people and understand the culture and, you know, arts and culture and what is their heritage. So yeah, I try to do all of that, and that actually helps you learn a lot. I wish we had been given this opportunity in childhood and we didn't have to learn those geography books. Rather, you had to travel.
At the end of the day, the most important thing at the end of the day is that every soul, when you're born, has only one purpose. It's not to become rich. It's not to become famous. It's not to make more and more and more money. The purpose of your soul is to expand the aura, to expand its wisdom, to expand the knowledge. The soul wants to grow. That is the hunger of a natural hunger of a soul, is that. Now then conditioning happens. Mummy says, daddy says, pado, study, become a big man, you have to come first in class, you have to come first in sports, you have to become a champion, you have to, and then the ego sets in, you know, and then you get destroyed. So if you just go with that theory of just allowing your doing things which make your soul grow, your soul to expand, and your aura to become stronger and more powerful, you as a soul become a magnet for not only health, not only happiness, but for good people and for success. Success also comes to you after that. Once you heal your aura, once you have a really positive, vibrant, luminous aura, once you have that, everything beautiful starts walking towards you.
So talking about upbringing, that's I have a question here. Is there any right age to start with Kundalini Yoga, or is it better if you start from childhood, or, you know, whatever age the enlightenment comes in that now I need to do Kundalini, or is
My daughter is now 16 years old, and she has been doing Kundalini Yoga since she was 5.
Oh my God.
She used to always sit right in the front. Any festival I taught in, any class, any workshop, she used to be right here. Exactly like whenever I was teaching, she was right here. And she would do, and she would love it. Wow. She loved doing it from that age till now.
Yeah, I can see her in the class doing it so well. So the earlier the better, you mean to say?
See, as a parent, you want your child to learn something important, learn something good. Kundalini Yoga, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, it's good for your health, it's good for exercise, it cleans up your lymphatic, all your systems. It's good for breath work, it's good for learning mantras. It's it's a lot of physical activity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so good for your core. So at the end of the day, I mean, if you put your child into it, I mean, what are you going to lose? It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. Okay, so talking about your future plans, we were just discussing about a healing center that you plan to open. What is the purpose of the center? What are you looking forward from it? Or is it going to be only about Kundalini, or about complete healing process with other activities as well? Tell us something about it.
So when you ask me for the purpose for the Anahata Transform Center, it's aligned with my own life purpose. I have a life purpose. So some people are blessed to find a life purpose like that. Like everybody is not blessed. My life purpose is to use my life to heal as many people as possible. So the Anahata Transform Center is a place where you come to transform. Whatever your knowledge, understanding of life is, it should be a paradigm shift in your consciousness by doing even 5 days with Anahata. Even just 5 days, it should have a profound effect. If it does not, I failed. I have failed. If one person out of all the 30 people who came for this retreat, if one person goes home the same way as he had come here, even one, I have failed. So my purpose is that whoever is associated with Anahata, whoever is coming to Anahata for any kind of seeking, whether it's Ayurveda, whether it's health, whether it's yoga, whether it's Kundalini, whether it's spirituality, whether it's meditation, if they go away unfulfilled, I have failed. So my purpose for Anahata is to create a space, not only for Kundalini Yoga, but for anything that's beautiful and spiritual and connected to divinity. And when I say divinity, I'm not talking about God, temple, mosque, church, Gurudwara. I'm talking about divinity. I'm talking about the light.
Yeah.
And eventually, your connection with Mother Earth. Once you have that, once you've come to Anahata, the purpose is to get you realigned. Like I spoke about, the pulse, the cosmic pulse and the vibration. Is to get everyone back into that alignment, so that the sattvic food that you've eaten, the sattvic kriya, the sattvic karmas, the sattvic everything that you're doing, whatever we are teaching you to do, whatever we are asking you to do, once you've done that, your whole life becomes magic, and you become a light that then go out and spread the light.
True. Well said. Well, we have a lot to talk about, if we talk about the journey to spirituality and the good teachings that you give in Anahata, and the experience of you. And I'm sure out of 30, not even one would have gone home unfulfilled. I have definitely transformed my life. But before we go, that any piece of advice you like to give to everybody out there who are not into the journey of spirituality, or are, one piece of advice that can transform their life?
See, as a yoga teacher, I'm supposed to tell you, do yoga. As somebody who understands and gives lectures on Ayurveda, I'm supposed to tell you, take care of your health, to look after. But actually, I'm not going to say all that, because there's something much more important than that. If there's one piece of advice I have to give to anybody who's looking at this, that one piece is going to be that your life depends upon your karmas. You see, the thing is, you can eat all the organic food in the world. You can do as many yoga classes as you want.
Right.
You can do a yoga retreat in Bali and then do another one in Mexico and then the third one in Guatemala. If your karmas are not good, if you have hurt people, if you have cheated people, if you have lied, if you have broken somebody's heart, you cannot be happy. That's my final message to anybody seeing this. The karmas will make your life better. Your good karmas will make this life better, and not only this life, your next life. Because whatever bad karmas you're doing now, you have to pay for them now. And if you don't finish paying for them and for some reason you die, you're born again with those same negative karmas and you're in your bank balance, and then you have to pay for them in your next birth. So understand the concept of karma, understand the concept of what it is to be a good human being. Because it's by you being a good human being, you're not doing anybody else a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. You're doing your future lives a favor.
Correct. So I think you have collected all the good karma by transforming people's life, definitely. And it was so amazing to chat with you, to have a conversation with you. And I would just like to say that keep enlightening people, keep making people's aura stronger, and keep transforming people's life. You're doing a great job. And thank you so much for the lovely 2 days with Anahata and for the amazing sessions of Kundalini Yoga.
Thank you,
so
Deepti.
much.
Thank you so much.
sir.
Thank you very much.
you.
Satnam. Thank you.